Ladies and gentlemen, my thoughts on WWE NXT episode 23. It was an awesome go-home show. Not at all like how Raw tends to do them. For one, no filler of any kind. No recap packages that we don't need because promos are already taking care of a lot of that. So the promos are taking care of a lot of that, and no filler matches where it just copy and paste from last week. Simple as that. Though I suppose Doc Hendricks didn't need to re-hype matches. He hyped them before. So we got some fairly over the top and hilarious segments from Knight and Grimes to hype up DiBiase's big news last night. Or should I say this Tuesday night. Along with their takeover match. So it is the most natural and exciting move for DiBiase to bring the $1 million championship to NXT for someone to have. Now, I really hope Grimes wins. He really can make the most out of this because his charisma and comedic sense. I haven't been the biggest fan of Legado just because Escobar overused Mendoza and Wilde in helping him in the early days of his WWE Cruiserweight Championship reign. But I am all for this six-man double title match. I am all for this six-man double title match. We got Reed versus Escobar, which is a one-on-one match. That would be awesome. But now we can see Reed take on Wilde and Mendoza. We can see Escobar take on Lee and Carter. Maybe there can be colossal tag moves from Reed and MSK. Also, it saves space on the takeover card, putting the belts up like this. This match could go either way, but I can't see Reed and Escobar being one and done. Now, Legado wins to be gold. And then Reed gets his rematch on perhaps NXT Great American Bash 2021. Now, the transition from Legado and Reed and MSK segment to Hit Row with Merrick and Dane was very, very good. Another trio that will be coming for those same titles reminds everyone of that very mission. And Hit Row works together to mess with Dane and help Swerve win. Now, that is about on par with how Legado has operated. So it got great heel heat and is showing where Swerve is in those power ratings. Now, I, myself, am pretty sure that Dane and Drake will regroup to take on Adonis and Top Dollar. Now, this is great. This is absolutely a great matchup because they parallel each other. They parallel each other with the big, strong Hoss and the smaller, fast guy. But I would think Hit Row wins there, too. Now, I really like that. Xia Li attacking Mercedes did not cancel Mercedes' match with whoever. But, you know, Mercedes is proving she is tough as nails. And that takeover match is going to be some brutal stuff. Now, I feel like since Mercedes stood tall here and won way back at MYC, which that stands for the Mae Young Classic, if you don't know already, Xia Li wins at TakeOver. GYV, of course, gets a win off 205 Live's Gray and Gyro. And, of course, they set up a grudge match with Ciampa and Thatcher. But I really like that it'll be a tornado tag rules. Now, that is going to be awesome for the post-TakeOver episode. Now, this could really go the distance if they need to fill for time and can finally act as the unofficial contenders match to go after the winners of TakeOver's Winners Take All. Now, Rizzato had a Really, really good promo to call out Imperium in return. Everwise plugging their own social media show was good. I like that Everwise used Hit Row's catchphrase to call them out. And Arnie Larkin versus Theory was a good opener. It was also good vehicle to get Gunn and Gargano to react. Now, there is something about Arnie Larkin using distraction to win that makes very, very good sense. Now, Arnie and Dunn are the heels fans should like to treat as heels while Theory was getting cheered. So it gets good heel heat for Arnie and Pete Dunne. Now, Kyle scrapping with Cross randomly seems a bit unneeded since we all knew there would be a face-to-face segment, but I suppose it was just to add to Cross saying Ringo has no control of NXT anymore. Now I know, even with last week, that Candice accusing Poppy of just pulling a Bad Bunny meant she was going to start pulling a Bad Bunny. But I do like that Poppy already has a natural proxy to go with. Io Shirai brawling with Candice works on many levels, as did that moment backstage where Shirai glared at Raquel Gonzalez, tying in the index drama. Makes me think we're getting the Way versus Io Shirai and Poppy, a non-title match. But maybe the real plan is Shirai and Poppy recruit another proxy so that Shirai and this other superstar take on the Way on a title match at the same time. Frankie Monet calling Shirai out for a few weeks ago makes me think Frankie will ruin that stuff and make a high-profile feud out of it. Ember Moon versus Dakota was a great main event match, but I had a feeling Raquel would interfere. Dakota was losing either way, so of course the heel champion makes sure their contender gets wrecked. Now, Ember turns things around and stands tall, so she clearly ends up winning at Takeover. Then the face-off closing. It had great promos and great brawling, and I should have known Cole was lying about not being in the CWC. Now, Cross stood tall until Cole knocked him down and stood even taller. So, as I figured, Cross is thoroughly pinning Cole to send him off to Raw or SmackDown. Now, Cross can feel the summer with the other feuds. Anyone's guess as to who takes Cross out, if it's happening at all this year. Folks, that's going to do it for this video, man. If you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on NXT episode 23, please hit that like button. If you didn't, hit that thumbs down. I got my very last video coming up next right here on the channel. It's going to be a video of me. I'm going to be recording a video of me giving you my thoughts on AEW Dark. That's coming up next. That'll be the last video for now. That's coming up next right here on the IWN YouTube channel, folks. Peace.